It's good to be together this morning. Happy New Year. Yeah. Uh, I'd like to start by having each of you, if you're willing, just put a word or two into the space about how you're feeling this morning. And you can just pop it up and won't call on anybody, but how are you feeling? Grateful, calm, relaxed, energized. Everyone's looking at her, like, energized? Really? She came. Priscilla came and chanted with me this morning. So at 8:30, anybody that's interested in chanting, we start with that downstairs at 8:30 for 20 or 30 minutes, and then we scamper up here and try to get the room ready for everybody. So that's open invitation if anyone wants to do that. Any other words? How people are feeling this morning? It's going all right. I don't mind at all. Uh, Good. All right. Well, I'm feeling ready for a new year. I feel like I was talking to Priscilla this morning. There's times I'm very attuned as from a family of surfers and sailors. I'm very attuned to the ebb and flow, of water and energy and opportunity. I know there's times in life where it feels like we're watching things get more scattered in our lives, just diffused, spread in many directions, pulled in many directions, kind of like an outgoing tide. There's other times in life where we can feel like things are coming together. I mean, pieces starting to assemble themselves, getting a little more clear about our intentions or how we want to show up in life or what's kind of like the theme or the important thing to us right now. And it's very important to, pay attention to all of that and also be willing to let go of what's not serving because we're ever evolving or ever changing. So what worked yesterday doesn't necessarily work today. So oftentimes when I come on my mat, that's kind of what I feel like happens. I don't even have to try, just kind of shedding a little things that have expired and creating some space for something new and fresh and maybe creative to enter. Maybe sometimes that will be your experience. And I wanted to invite you beginning next Thursday for half an hour after yoga. I'm going to lead a discussion. We're going to have tea. Whoever wants to stay, you can stay some weeks and not others, or every time or no time. And what I'm doing is I'm teaching a course. The course is full right now and it's at another location, but I'm teaching a course on the yamas and the niyamas, which are the 10 guiding principles of yoga. So you're probably familiar with the 10 commandments that Christianity has. And that could be a way of describing what these 10 principles are. And they're fundamental to the yogic tradition and way of being in the world. And they're very practical. So every week, I'm going to go over one of the principles and we'll just have a little discussion about it. Anybody that is looking for a good book to read, I recommend it. I brought some extra copies in case you want one. So if you want to read the chapter before we have our little discussion, you can talk to me a little bit more about that after class. And you don't have to read it at all. You'll still benefit by coming and learning. But I'll just give you a tip about what the 10 principles are. Well, the first one is ahimsa, nonviolence. And that sounds like an extreme word, but there's a lot of ways that we are um, causing harm to ourselves and others, even just through the way that we think. Right? If we're judging and we're critical, that's a form of doing harm. So the 10 principles are ahimsa, which is nonviolence, satya, which is truthfulness, asteya, which is non-stealing, brahmacharya, which is non-excess or moderation, apagraha, which is non-possessiveness, and then there's saucha, which is purity, santosha, which is contentment, tapas, self-discipline, sadyata, self-study, and ishvara, pradhyana, surrender. So you can see there's some of those qualities always woven into our practices today. So you please join me in sliding the eyes closed. And as the eyes close, sometimes the subtler things become evident. So I just want you to start to notice how your physical body is feeling today, the areas of tightness, pain, or tension, gripping, clinging, or holding. And in just a general sense, start to bathe those areas with slower, deeper breaths that you can feel coming in through the nose. Just welcome that breath as sweetly and smoothly as you can to fill up your interior, and those nice long breaths out that help you settle, and shed the tension, and start to find a steady smoothness to your breathing. Notice how things start to simplify when all you need to think about is your body and your breath. And if the mind objects and gets busy, that's all right. We just smile and laugh. The mind's very good at that. And we just let it be and we come back, putting our primary attention on this moment, what is solid and what is real, our bones, our muscles, right? Our breath, our heartbeat. When we welcome the mind to relax a little bit so that whatever is important can move its way toward the forefront. I would offer you the idea that the to do list and the calendar isn't the most important thing today. What is important for you? Please take your left hand, place it over your heart, feel the whole hand meet the chest. A slight little bow with the chin, a moment of reverence and honoring your own personal intention. Besides being in community and just enjoying movement, what else drew you this morning to class? What do you need to clear space for? What do you need some clarity about? What do you need a break from? And softly guide your right hand on top of your left. Just feel it wrap over the top of that bottom hand. Allow your heart to expand from the center point of personal need out into the larger, the greater scheme of things. What kind of energy do you want to bring out into the world today after you leave your practice? Are you carrying anyone on your heart who needs your prayers, your good wishes, your positive energy? If someone pops into your mind right now, just send them a blessing. The metta meditation is beautiful. May I be safe, may I be happy, may I be healthy, and may I have ease. So we can offer that blessing outward. May all beings be safe and happy and healthy and have ease. Stay with the breath, hands at the heart, just a moment or two longer. Here's a reading for us to ponder. It's very short. It's by Pema Chodron, American Buddhist monk. She's amazing. There's nothing more important on our spiritual path than developing gentleness to oneself. I'll read that twice more and just see if a word or a phrase of it pops for you. There's nothing more important on our spiritual path than developing gentleness to oneself. There's nothing more important on our spiritual path than developing gentleness to oneself. When we're gentle with ourselves, we can be gentle with others. You can just lift your hands off your heart, take your palms right out in front of you, and just release all those thoughts, wishes, intentions to the greater good, just entrusting them to the universe to manifest in the best possible way. Turn your palms over, rest them on your knees, reverse the cross of your knees. And we're just going to chant some rounds of Om as a way to blend our voices to deepen our breath. And also, you can think of it as a sonic cleaner. And I love metaphor. So I was thinking about the diamond being the heart. And if you've got a diamond, a piece of jewelry that's going to be cleaned, and it was going to be dropped into something called a sonic cleaner that has vibration to clean it. Sometimes chanting can be like that. It just starts to cleanse the heart and just kind of brighten it up a little bit. We'll just start with ah, and then we'll go to om. Big breath. Ah. Big breath. Ah. Big breath. And then convert to om. One more time. Back to ah. Twice more. And now we'll just hum for a moment. Allow yourself to just sit still. Notice, pay attention to the effects of that small bit of toning on how you feel. And then a deep breath in and out. Prepare yourself to come down onto your back with the bolster underneath you if you would like a stretch like that. So, reclining uh, fish pose. You can have one of your blocks underneath the head of your bolster if you want. So, we're going to go for a soft opening for the heart space, for the chest. And if a bolster doesn't serve you well, you can just come right down onto your back. There could be a few in class that don't want to use the bolster at all, and you would use the block across your shoulder blades instead. But I'd like you to come on back. I want you to feel opening the front body since you just sat with your legs crossed and your hip creases compressed. So I want you to at least take a few moments, stretch your legs out, You can flex your ankles and kind of swish your feet back and forth, windshield wiper style. Then feel how the wiggling and the movement of your feet goes right up the legs, up into your hip sockets. Take a nice breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel that you're well supported, that the arch in your low back isn't bothering you. Take your hands behind your head, cup your opposite elbows, and stretch your elbows a little further behind you, and then sink your back ribs, your back shoulder blades right down onto your bolster. Good. And then start to find any arm position that's going to help your chest open. So you could go from this position of ragdoll, you could slide it into having your fingers interlaced, kind of stick your knuckles toward the back space, and then take some breaths here till you start to really feel something happening through your shoulders. Then part your hands and make big circles around through the room that crisscross over your body and come up and around. If your legs long still feels good, stay with that. If you want to bend the knees, put your feet flat, or I think some of you like to take the soles of your feet together and let your knees drop out. That's certainly an option as well. Let's just start to kind of pump that breath a little bit more deeply. Good. Opposite direction with circles. As you move the arms, spread your fingers, start to bring some more awareness into the hands, the whole body, feeling the effects of the position. Nice. Land with your arms out, kind of like a bird laying on its back with its wings draped right out to the side. Adjust the position of your legs and take 5 smooth, deep breaths, right, especially focused in the heart center. Like the breath ventilates, or as though you open a window in your chest and everything that you've got carrying in the heart gets some fresh air around it. Imagine you could dilate your nostrils open so that even more breath can come in and enter down through the airways. Feel your lung capacity expanding on every deep breath in. Feel the release, the settling, the welcoming on the exhalation. Another breath in, another breath out. This artist is singing the chant that's Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, and it's a clearing the path chant, removing obstacles. So let that breath just start to melt some obstacles away for you, whether it's distraction or something more pronounced that's a blockage. You can connect with that. And then after the next deep breath, you can roll over onto your side, scoot, roll that bolster off to your right, and come directly flat down onto the mat. And this time feel the bones, the hard places on your back body, really find connection and contact with the mat. Interlace your fingers, cup your right knee in, slide your left leg long. Take some moments here to stretch your body as long as you can from the sole of your left foot, which is pressing forward strongly, all the way to the top of your head, that you can imagine the crown of your head moving toward the back of the room. And then pulse your right knee in towards your right chest, in and out. Take your elbows out to the side. Every time you pull your knees in, you can kind of choose to activate those chest muscles when you pull the knee in. And then hold the knee in, really embrace it strongly with your right palm. Curl your right cheekbone up towards your right kneecap. Flex both the ankles. Lift your left heel 1 inch off the ground. Squeeze your left quadricep a little tighter. Good. Breathe. If you like core challenge, convert your hands to behind the head. Steady breaths. On the inhale, there's a little bit of softness. On the exhale, the navel pulls down toward the spine. Nice. And then take the hands back to the knees if you had them on the head. Lay your head and shoulders back down. Press your left leg to the ground completely down. Left hand on that right knee and your right arm out to the side. Guide your right knee across your torso, any amount, over toward the left side of your mat. Some people will come over just a little bit. Some people will come over a lot. There could be a few in the room who actually bring the inner right knee down onto the floor to your left. Take a few breaths with initial spinal twist. That left leg can stay long and straight if it serves you, or you can bend your left leg and just keep it on the ground, but in the bent position. 3 more breaths. Belly, ribs, chest filling up. Exhale, your right shoulder descending any way possible, your right outer ribs dropping down. Every so often, an exhale through an open mouth, really good therapy. Even with the sound, even better. Bring yourself back to center when you're ready. Hug both the knees in. Give a wrap with your arms around your knees. And if it requires you lifting your head off the ground to take that wrap, make sure you reset your skull back to the mat. Really want to stay grounded. Rock a little side to side. Interlace your fingers in the front of your left knee. Hug that left knee in tight, elbows to the side, arms and chest active. Stretch your right leg out long. Hold your right heel 1 inch off the mat. Firm that right leg. Feel it very strong. Curl up. Bring your left cheekbone towards your left kneecap. Flex both of your ankles. Elbows to the side if you're able. Breathing. Converting the hands back to the skull. And of course, always knowing you can make this your own practice. Customize it however you want, whenever you want. Breathe in, breathe out. Navel to spine. Hands switch back to the knee if you had it. Drop your right leg, push your right leg, your right heel to the floor. Strengthen as though the sole of your right foot is pushing something away from your body. Pulse your left knee in and out towards your left chest a few times. Keep a lot of your awareness in the back body, the grounded connection between you and the earth. When you're ready, right hand cups the left knee, left arm out to the side. We're going across the body with the left knee, and you're sensitive to what's good for you this morning as far as you want to bring that left knee over. Do your best to keep grounded down through your left arm, your left shoulder. Breathe. Feel this twist through the spine. The chance to let go and detoxify in every out breath. Make your way out of the twist and into a long body stretch straight down the middle of your mat. Really organize all the parts of your body so you can stretch long like a pencil. Reach your fingertips away overhead, your toes toward the front of the room with the engagement of all your muscles. So squeezing everything you can squeeze, get as long as possible as in breath. Out breath, let everything drop. Just feel where it goes. Just let everything be soft. Take a few slow, deep breaths here. Move into a side bend on our backs before we move away from the ground. Please take your right hand, hold your left wrist. Walk both your heels with your legs straight over to the front right corner of your mat. Form your body into the shape of a crescent moon by shortening your right side waist. Your right hand can pull your left arm longer. Keep both shoulder blades flat to the ground, both your sitting bones flat to the ground, and come into a nice C curve here. If it feels good, cross your right ankle over your left and roll your right ear towards your right shoulder. Bring your attention to that arc that you're creating on the whole left side of your body. Send your breath, your awareness, your attention into the left rib cage. Every breath you take, kind of polishing that gem of the diamond within. I am the light of my soul. Stay several breaths longer. A variation would be to bend your right knee, put your right foot flat on that right edge of your mat, and take your right hand down and see if you can grab your right ankle or the hem of your pants on the right leg, and then make that side bend a little deeper even by holding onto that right ankle. Opening left side body. Ready? You took that little bind, let it go. Bring yourself right out to straight, long body. In breath to prepare. Exhale to come to the other side. Left hand grabs the right wrist. Legs stay straight and long, but walk your heels to the front left corner of the mat. Press this moon shape here. Shorten that left side waist. Get the right side body to open. You cross your left ankle over your right. Take some breaths here. If it feels good, roll your left ear to your left shoulder. Where attention goes, energy flows. It's one of the principles of yoga. So wherever you choose to place your attention, there's going to be some energy flowing there. I suggest the right side body, the right ribs, the right lung. Staying here, we're taking the variation, bending the left knee, put it along the left edge of your mat, take your left hand down, see if you can grab your left ankle and hold on. Does that let you shorten your left side waist a little more? Stretch a little longer through the right side body. Left ear toward left shoulder. I am the light of my soul. Give your body that gift of attention and time and stretch. I'm beautiful, I am bountiful, I am blessed. When you're ready, you're gonna let that go. Hug both your knees in towards your chest, and this time, right hand assigns to the right knee, left hand to the left knee, and then circle your knees so you feel the mobility down in your hip sockets. I want you to feel your low back expanding when you bring the knees together, especially. Continuing to drop into your yoga zone, where the outer world kind of fades away, and you're really just connected to your body and your breath in this moment. Reverse the direction of the circles. Next time your knees are wide apart, leave them apart. Come with me to happy baby. Elevate your heels. Slide your hands up your outer shin bones, either holding the ankles, or if you can reach all the way up to the feet, grab the outer edges of your feet. Resettle the base of your skull down, your shoulders down, your whole back body to the ground. Weight those back ribs to the ground. Start to rock side to side. Pay attention to the way that the ground is pressing against your back waist and down into your organs that are in that area of the body, the kidneys and adrenal glands. Give you a nice little press on each side. Keep your arms active and pulling your feet close down toward the ground. If you'd like a variation, grab your big toes and come out into a straddle. Slow and steady, push your heels out. Whether your legs go straight or not does not matter. I want you to feel interior of the leg stretching, the active arms, and that leveling down of the whole back of your body, base of the skull to down to the tail. Little rock side to side with the straddle if you want. Let go of your feet. Put your hands on the outside of your legs. Close them together. Bend your knees. We're going to come into bridge together. Feet are flat. Walk your heels in toward your buttocks as best you can. Arms by your side. You're going to come up and down several times, peeling the hips up. And then lowering back down, slow and steady. Feel the spine descend, the tailbone land. And do that several times. Each time, you can lift your hips a little bit higher if your body lets you do that. You might enjoy exhaling with the effort of the lift. Inhaling as you lower back down. Find 2 more times to lift. And then on the third lift, we're going to hold our bridge pose. Keep rooting into your feet. Feel how you're strengthening your legs. The last lift, we're going to hold. If it's a more effort than you want, put the block under your hips. Rest your hips for supported bridge. Or if you want to level it up a notch, you want to take that bind, take your palms together underneath your backside, clasp the hands. Root to the feet. Energize your thigh bones. Picture your thigh bones as parallel like railroad tracks. Press down into the backs of your arms and walk your triceps underneath your shoulder blades. So there's elevation, chest and ribs, pelvis. Breathe in and out. Keep your glutes engaged. Your tailbone's reaching for the back of your knees. Feel that stretch across your chest and collarbones. Give kind of a final inhale and exhale at the peak of the pose, kind of the best it gets for today. When that happens for you, then you can start your way down, unbind the hands, widen your upper back. You want to sense the vertebrae coming down to the mat one at a time. And then a final hug, knees in toward the chest, release your low back. Maybe curl your cheekbones up towards your kneecaps if that feels good for you. Even a little rock side to side. Put your head back down if you lifted it. Slide your hands behind your knees. So we're going to start to rock. And some of you will just give one big rock and come to your seat. Others of you that like spinal rocking, as I do, you're going to keep the hands behind the knees, curl up so you round your spine, and then start to swing your feet so that you're rocking, any amount, but you're rocking and pressing those spinal muscles along the ground. It's a little acupressure. And then eventually, when you rock up, maybe you like the challenge of trying to balance. Land right out the boat. So the hands are behind the knees. Your feet can be down if it's too much, or up. For today, let's interlace our fingers, like make a little basket behind our knees. And round your spine. Bring your nose, your chin down, elbows to the side. You're trying to stretch your back wide open. Hug your navel toward your spine. And then the opposite, sitting up really tall. Push your ribs towards your thighs. Hold on tightly. You're strengthening your arms. It's not cheating. Round, lean back. Nose dips down, back opens, navel to spine. Sit back up. Take the in breath, out breath, round. Twice more. Inhale, sit up nice and tall and bright. Exhale, lean it back. Last time, inhale, come up tall. Nice. So if you want to break, put your feet down. If you want to stay with the core, work, bring your hands here first. Keeps the chest open and the shoulders down. And then you can grow it a little wider with the reach. You could try to lift your feet higher. Maybe yes, no. I hope you're breathing at least a little. Good. Cross your ankles. Put your ankles right down on the mat. Lean forward any amount. Let your head flop. Even give your head a shake. And so your ankles are crossed. You're folding forward. You're staying there. You're rocking side to side. It's kind of a letting go of that portion of our class. We warmed up our spines. We really brought our breath deeper into the body. We did some good things for our core. Nice. We're all warmed up. So we're going to transition from here into a downward facing dog. However you want to get there, I'm rolling forward, planting my hands, stepping back with each foot as I hike the hips up. So find your own pathway to downward facing dog. I know we all bring in different needs to our practices today. If your need is to be really gentle, be creative. You know, you can take Shavasana on your belly, laying down. You can take Shavasana on your back anytime. So start to pedal out your downward facing dog and see what really feels good or not so good. The new year, fresh start. Even if you feel like you haven't been on your mat enough lately, there's no time like the present to commit yourself to a little more yoga in your life. And we're going to take some easy little mini vinyasas together. So from our downward facing dog, we're going to come forward, bring our shoulders over our palms into plank momentarily, and then we drop the knees. Uncurl your toes. Look at me. Drop your pelvis, but keep your chest up. And then slowly lower down, like as supple a spine as you can. Yeah, and then tap your forehead down. A very reverent moment. Press into your palms, lift your chest up. Exhale, pull your hips towards your heels. Pause, bring your forehead back down toward the ground, so it's extended child's pose. Nice, curl your toes under, find your downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out, do whatever it is for a few moments that you like to do in this pose. Some of us are up and down on the toes. Some of us pedal out the heels. Some of us give our head a little wiggle. Just enjoy the posture. And then two more. Just nice little vinyasas. Vinyasa means to flow and to link poses together. So we're high plank, and then our knees are down. Our chest lifts, we feel our back arch. Kind of keeping that arched back as we melt to the ground. Tap the forehead. Inhale. We're coming up. This is Cobra. Hips back. Extended child's pose. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog before the last vinyasa. Move it. You can pedal out the heels, as I said. You can kind of shimmy through the shoulders. You can come up on the toes and perk your hips up a little higher, and then just settle those heels down. When you're ready, high plank. Knees down. Heart stays high. Slow melt. Tap the forehead. Inhale up. Exhale. Back to child's pose, where we're going to stay for some breaths with the knees very wide. Big toes pointing in. You can drop down initially onto the elbows. Swing your hands in, stack them. Make a nice little pillow for your forehead if you'd like for the first few breaths, so that you can focus on settling, wiggling your trunk a little closer to the ground in the space between your legs. Relax your shoulders, your chest. And convert this into extended arms if you'd like by bringing the forehead to the mat and the arms extend long out to the front corners of your mat. Take 5 deep breaths, as big as you can, and let your belly really kind of swell up and expand with that inhalation. And then very pronounced exhalation where it feels like you squeeze every ounce of breath out of your body. Nice place here for an exhale through an open mouth. You can sigh, any kind of vibration of the vocal cords is helpful for you. Please start to walk your hands in towards your knees. We're going to head back toward a squat and a forward fold at the back of the mat. If you're going to squat, you're going to curl the toes under, come into garland. If you're perched on the balls of your feet, your knees don't like that, put your feet flat and you just get a head start on the forward fold. If you're in garland with me, push your hips back behind your heels a little bit. And just for starters, bring your head and chest forward and down. Your hands are very lightly resting on the mat. You can even lift them off the mat if you wanted. Round the spine, spread the shoulder blades open, invite a stretch through your low back, your hips. You can pivot a little bit, kind of turning to the left and turning to the right. You have a little bit of movement through the ankles that happens when you do that. And then you can decide to either stay in garland or come with me into a wider foot squat. So it requires raising the hips enough so you can bring your heels onto your yoga mat and your toes on the floor. Lower your hips down. It doesn't work for everybody, but if it works for you, fine. Settle your hips and just for a few moments, put your elbows between your knees. Lift your chest up. Yeah, breathe in, breathe out. Lots of variations. And then fold. Put your hands down. Lift your hips up. Put both feet on the mat, but keep them wide. Pinky toes at the outer edges of the mat. Fold down. And we'll do some half lifts here to start to lengthen the back of the legs. Slide your palms right up the front of your shins. Stop just below your knees. Bring your chest forward to flatten your back. And then fold down. Try to keep your legs long. They don't have to be straight. Several times. Inhale, slide your hands up to that stopping point beneath the knees, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, slide back down. 2 more at your own timing. Filling up, emptying out. Let your head drop heavily toward the ground when you fold. And then after the next exhalation, bend your knees generously. Prepare to roll your way up to a 5-pointed star. Pushing into the feet, just taking our time, getting long through the legs. Eventually, arms come out. So 5-pointed star looks like this. Turn your toes out. That's 5-pointed star. Starts dropping to goddess. And then dropping down like this. Yeah, and then back up. Warming up the legs. Down, keep your palms forward, like your fingertips just sending out rays of sun and light. Down. Press it up. A couple more times so you can get past just the coordination of it and you really can start to feel the opportunity to press into your feet, to power up your legs, to keep your chest open, to go from low to high. Nice. And next time you're 5-point star, turn your palms out, home through the air. Just imagine you can just keep contributing to the calm, peaceful radiance in this room just by smoothing out your own aura, your own energy field. So your hands dangle right by your side. Look at the top of your mat. And swing your feet together to be parallel. And then take some mindful steps forward. Plan on those last 2 steps at the top to be very important. Press in. Your hands together at your heart. breath or two. Just renew your commitment to be present. Doesn't matter what happens after class. This is all that matters right now. Keep your gaze on the floor, 6 feet in front of you. And we're going to come into a standing balance sequence. So shift your weight to your right foot. On the toes of your left, pause. Recalibrate, strengthen your right leg. And then guide your left knee up as high as you can go. It could be very low, some will be higher. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep your gaze steady. Observe the body wobble. It's just nothing is a problem. Stay steady. Do what you can. Hands straight up overhead. Keep that steady gaze. A gentle smile usually helps. Press your left heel forward. Flex an ankle. Point your left toes. Sweep behind you, like you're just kind of painting a stripe on the floor. Lift your left foot up behind you. Start to drop your gaze now, so it's just beyond the top of your mat. Warrior 3. See where it goes. You can keep that left foot low or even have it on the ground, or you can lift it up higher. There might be a few in class who want to reach their fingertips to the ground. It's called the standing split. Seems like a generous description. Doesn't really feel like a split to me, but lift the left foot high. Then wherever you are, we're just going to be stepping the left foot back behind us and dropping the left knee down. So you're going to arrive in a kneeling lunge. Take your time. It doesn't matter how you get there. Once you're there, right foot is forward, left knee is down, the knee is padded if it needs padding. And you're going to rise up and stack your hands on your right knee. Press the pelvis forward and down slowly. And as you press the pelvis forward and down, engage your legs. Squeeze your leg thigh muscles right onto the bone. If you feel like your balance is okay today, arms overhead. So once you lift, the shoulders naturally rise. That's what they do. But then settle your shoulders down by dropping your shoulder blades to your back waist. If you want to take some circles with me, reach behind you as far as the fingertips go. Down, forward, and up. Match the breath. Inhale as it comes back. And exhale as it comes back. Inhale as it comes back. The next time the hands come down, hopefully you've got a block somewhere close by. Bring that block into your left hand, put it on the mat, plant it. Right hand to right knee. Remember, the pelvis is forward and down to the best of your ability. Start to twist by bringing your left lower hip towards your right inner hip, and then your left ribs towards your right thigh, your left shoulder towards your right knee, and that's how we ripple the twist of the spine. Breathe. Really want you to focus on the twist. It's the most important thing right here. If you just want to level it up, curl the left toes under, straighten the left leg, but don't sacrifice the twist. And if you want to do something with your right arm, you can take your right fingertips forward, up, and around. You can take a loop or two here. I want you to feel the stability of your strong left arm, and your left palm on the block, and then the full radiance of your left hand through the air. Ending for the last few breaths with a bind. Right elbow bends. If you're able, right fingertips slide across the back of your waistband. You'll feel the top side of your right hand push on your outer left hip. And then peel your right shoulder open. You might even tip your gaze slightly up. Strong out breath. And we're going to make our way out of the whole thing. Drop the back knee. You lifted it. Out of the twist. Hands come down. Block off to the side. And we step to downward facing dog. Any way that you can get there. Child's pose is always an option. You can follow me through a vinyasa or do one of your own styling. High plank. Knees down. Slow melt with the heart staying high. Inhaling, rising up. Exhale, hips toward the heels. Child's pose or downward facing dog. Yogi's choice, 10 breaths. You're welcome to take another vinyasa or play around with three-legged down dog, Heaven's Gate. You really got some energy, you can bust out a few push-ups. That's not this crowd. It's not my style either. We take our practice seriously, but we also want to bring in the lightness of a smile on the face that kind of trickles down to a smile in the heart. It's great to be here on a Thursday morning, breathing and moving, taking care of ourselves. We're just going to find our own way to get to the top of the mat. If you're following my lead from down dog, just walk your feet step by step by step. You'll probably come onto the fingertips as the feet approach the top of the mat. Take those intentional placement of the feet and then find yourself rolling up. So just meet us at the top of the mat. Bring your arms overhead. Feel the hands meet. Exhale, slide the thumbs to the heart, root into your feet. Feel the strength of your legs. Pause with your thumbs at your heart. Drop your gaze 6 feet out in front of you. Smooth out your breath. Let go of the sequence you just did. So fresh start. Weight shifts to the left foot. Toes of the right. Okay, so explore what's going to be required of that left foot and ankle for stability. Firm your left thigh. Lift your right knee up. Little more. See what's happening. What works? Slowly, slowly. Hands can come overhead. Pause. Don't judge the wobble. Let it be. Do what you can. Press your right foot out in front of you to the height you're able. A little heat right there. Point your right toes. Bring them down like you're painting a stripe on your mat. Take the right toes behind you. Stay with the right toes on the mat or lift them up for warrior 3. And it's an extension from the back foot to the front hands. Gaze is down, core is engaged. A few in the room might want to reach fingertips to the ground. Lift your right foot high. Fold your torso toward your left thigh bone. Standing split here. We're all going to put that right foot toward the back of the mat. Drop the right knee. Pat it if needed. Make sure you've got a block close by so you can bring it in and have it ready for the right. And when you're ready, just come on up. Stack your hands on your left knee. Feel your connection to the ground. That's all it means to be grounded. Feel your connection. Solid. Press your pelvis forward and down. Your gaze is slightly out in front of you, so you have awareness of what's happening in the room, but primary attention is just right on your mat. If you feel you can. Stay settled with the pelvis. Relax your shoulders. This time, arm position is the mind. Palm to palm behind your back. Interlace. Open. Some of us like to float the chin up. It just feels exalted. Lovely. Strong breath. Stay pressing into your feet. You feel the hands slide apart. Fingers come apart. The right hand drops down onto the block. Left hand onto the left knee. And a slow twist to the left. Feel your front right hip move towards your left groin, your right ribs towards your left thigh bone, your right shoulder towards your left knee. Keep the twist going. Bringing out a sponge, squeezing out what we don't need. Not that it was bad, we just don't need it anymore. Level up by curling the right toes under, straighten the right leg. Keep the twist as deep as you can. Some who want, left fingertips forward, up and back, tracing a very large circle. Next time your left fingertips are pointing back, if you want to try the half bind, bend the left elbow, Slide the fingertips, the fingernails along the back of your waistband, looking for the outer right hip to press against, and then peel your left shoulder open a little more. Tip your gaze slightly up if you can. Squeeze your thighs toward the middle of the mat. Good time for a long exhale, cleansing, releasing. We're here to lighten up. We're here to get free. And find the right knee back down on the mat. Uncurl from the twist. Block off to the side. Last downward facing dog. Get there any way you'd like. Yogi's choice, 10 breaths. If it suits you to take a flow, then follow me through high plank. Knees down. Heart stays up. Slow melt. Feel the body come to the ground. Tap your forehead. Gratitude to Mother Earth. Inhale up to the heart. Exhale back. Child's pose or downward facing dog. Your breath in and out of your body. Nice quality of breath in the room. When you feel ready, I'd like you to shift forward onto the belly. Practice Shalabhasana or locust pose. A little bit of back body strengtheners before we make the descent towards Shavasana. So the arms are down by the sides. I want you to take some moments to get your body to really feel long. Reach your toes toward the back of the room, and from within the interior of the body, there's this lengthening quality that does push the feet back and the top of the head forward. And the palms are on the ground, the arms are straight, and the arms are energized. And I'd like you to press into your palms for stability. Start to peel your chest up, but just come up 1 inch at a time, like 1 inch per breath. Notice the muscles on the back of your body that start to engage. You can keep your chin tucked in towards your throat if it's better for your neck. And then can you hold your chest at that height and lift just your right leg up to match it? Feel that, it's interesting. And then match it with your right leg as high as your left leg. Notice the difference coming into this pose slowly like this in increments as opposed to just kind of popping up into it. It's a different way. And then start to hover your hands off the floor. Just barely off the floor. Notice what that does. Can you pull your shoulder blades toward each other? You're kind of closing the gap on the backside of your heart with your shoulder blades. Breathe in and out. Either come down for a rest or bend your knees and reach back with your left hand. Can you grab your left foot? Same with the right. Right? If so, it's a good day. Keep your chin maybe in close towards your chest so you don't strain and crimp the neck. And then start to push your toes up toward the ceiling. Feel that it takes some energy in your legs to do so. Your arms are long, your hands are hooked on your knees, and you've got a little pose going on called bow. Stretches the shoulders, right? Tones the glutes, strengthens the thighs. And then we're going to take a slow way out of bow. So if you're here with me, drop your thighs to the ground. Keep the hold on your feet if you can. Bring your forehead onto your mat. And stay here for some breaths, just in a soft double quad stretch. Only thing we're thinking about right now is the heels being drawn in toward the sitting bones. Feeling the stretch through the thighs. Flow of the breath. Good. And then we release the feet, leave the feet dangling, but bring your hands around, stack them, put your left cheek on your hands, let your chest really sink down. Windshield wiper your feet side to side slowly. Notice the opportunity to start slowing your breath down. We just instinctively know that we're moving toward the quieter part of practice. Suspend your feet in stillness. Lift your head up, put your right cheek down. Pick one foot to drop to the ground first. Feel the unfolding of the leg, the lengthening of the leg, and the landing of that foot on the mat. And then give the same attention to the other leg as it lengthens. Your second foot finds the ground. Breathe smooth and easy. Notice when you breathe in, the way your belly pushes against the mat, it makes a feeling of expansion into the back body. So you can realize that when we breathe, it's not just expansion forward into the space in front of us, but we're expanding in every direction when we breathe in. Our side body and even to our back body. And from here, I'd like you to find your way back into child's pose for a few breaths and then down onto your back to get ready for Shavasana. Maybe a minute or two of yogi's choice. Stay as long as you want in child's pose. If you feel like you need a little something more for movement before you come onto your back, you can do that. The invitation is really to drop in more deeply. And you don't drop in by trying, you drop in by letting go. Let go of tension, let go of the story circulating in your mind. Let go of your concerns of the day. So each at your own pace, with absolutely no rush, and come onto your back. You might find that shoulder stand would suit you. I see a shoulder stand in the room. So when you get on your back, if you feel like putting your block under your hips and elevating your feet would be good, you can do that. You might sense that you want a knee hug or a spinal twist, or you might be more than ready to get still and stretch out. Bolster behind the knees. Gentle reminder to bring a blanket. It's a really nice benefit to have that to cover you up during Shavasana, or even just to have the comfort and weight of it across your pelvis and your thighs, and fold it over you like a dinner napkin. As you start to settle in, notice how all the components of our practice today contributed to clearing the path, making the way clear, removing the obstacles to being present and being comfortable in your body as it is, your life as it is. Contentment is sitting right here, calling to you that nothing in your life needs to be different than it is for you to find contentment right now. This moment is good. Make sure your body feels comfortable in the way that you placed it. As you slowly let the attention to breathing a certain way subside, notice that that gives way to just the natural breath, natural mind, natural body, natural goodness sitting right there at the forefront. Pema Chodron's quote that I read you earlier. There's nothing more important on our spiritual path than developing gentleness to oneself. There's nothing more important on our spiritual path than developing gentleness to oneself. So this pose, Shavasana, is exactly that. It's surrender, it's letting go, letting the ego fade and the true self come online. It's the time of gentleness to yourself. It could be a gentling of your head to the ground, resting into that support, and gentleness to the way that your facial muscles are relaxing, allowing the jaw to unhinge. There's nothing in you that's preparing for the next thing. Soft, open, present. It could be a gentling to the way that your shoulders rest on the ground. Feel how your arms are gently placed and your hands also could have a gentle quality to them. Breath just comes and goes like natural tides in the waters where we live. Feel the gentle way that your spine is able to relax toward the ground and the whole trunk of the body gets to settle. Feel your hips soften, gentle quality to the way that the pelvis rests on the ground. It's cushioned by relaxed buttocks. And then the gentle flow of your legs brings you right down to your feet, really soft and gently resting. Softening, letting go. No effort will make anything better at this time. Just rest easy, knowing at the center of your being that all is well. I'd like you to bring your attention to your body as a whole, not the separate parts, but the whole body itself is one field of energy, one container of blessing, your body temple. Just notice as a whole how you feel integrated. Whatever was scattered has been brought back together, maybe better than before. You have a renewed sense of being able to just work with whatever is. Contentment, acceptance, optimism, all woven together. And start to deepen your breath gently, just a little bit at a time. Notice your connection with your breath. Then a little at a time, start to move your fingers, wiggle your fingertips. And gently bring that movement into the whole hand, perhaps stretching the palm open wide. Same thing with your feet, wiggling the toes a little bit at a time until they get to be bigger movements for the toes. And perhaps circling wrists and ankles all at the same time. Once or twice in each direction. Start to extend your arms long, arms overhead or out to the side, whatever feels good for you. And then do the same thing with your legs. Reach them out. Stretch the body as long as possible. And then gather your knees in towards your chest. Give a strong hug of the knees inward. Feel your spine open. You curl up a little bit, open the back body. Find your way to roll over onto your right side. Use your right arm as a pillow and pause here. I invite you to pick one word for your day today you'll carry with you. Now, what would reflect how you want to move through the day, no matter what comes your way. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Cross your ankles. Sit up nice and tall. And join me taking the arms right out wide. So ready for the day. Your arms overhead on the in-breath. Palms meet. And the exhalation, thumbs find their way right back to the heart. Keep returning there over and over. Bow the head. I send each one of you wishes for peace and health and happiness now and always. Happy New Year. Namaste. Thank you for each bringing your own special energy, presence to the class. Each one of you like a flower in the garden, each one a little different than the other. Okay. And you can greet one another. Just take a peek who is